Bancroft always had a choice. Today you will hear how Avery Bancroft took $200,000 in cash, put it in a briefcase, sat down next to Chase Covington, the chairman of the Midlands Gambling Commission, at a blackjack table in her casino, and exchanged briefcases, bribing Chase Covington for the license to open, own, and operate a second casino in the state of Midlands. Avery Bancroft always had a choice, and she chose bribery. Now, I and my co-counsel come before you representing the state today, and as such, we bear a burden of proof. We must prove to you beyond a reasonable doubt the charge of bribery that we have brought forth. Now, the charge of bribery includes two components. First, that Avery Bancroft provided Chase Covington with something of value, and second, that this was done with the intent of influencing Chase Covington in his duties as the chairman of the Gambling Commission. Now, Your Honors, the defendant has admitted to both of these tenets. She has admitted to giving Chase Covington $200,000, and she has admitted that she gave him this money for the intent of securing her casino license. So you might ask, why are we even here today? We are here today because the defense has chosen to pursue an affirmative defense of entrapment. Entrapment means that Avery Bancroft alleges that she was entrapped, that she was induced into committing bribery by a government agent. And by pursuing this affirmative defense, defense counsel also bears a burden today. They must prove this affirmative defense of entrapment to you through a preponderance of the evidence. They must show you that it is more likely than not that Avery Bancroft was induced by a government agent and that this was the reason that she committed bribery. But we will show you today, beyond a reasonable doubt, that Avery Bancroft was not induced, that she was not entrapped, because we will show you that Avery Bancroft always had a choice. Now today you will hear from a number of witnesses, the first of whom will be Officer Mickey Keenan. Mickey Keenan conducted a 2-year investigation undercover in the Midlands Gambling Commission. He will explain to you how he was embedded in the Gambling Commission as an auditor, and how he observed Chase Covington on an almost daily basis during those 2 years. He will tell you how he heard that the Midlands Gambling Commission was offering a second casino license. And he will tell you that his attention first turned to the defendant when Avery Bancroft made a call to Chase Covington, offering to grease the wheels on her casino proposal. He will explain to you that it was only after this phone call that he overheard that he chose to investigate Ms. Bancroft further. He will explain to you that the wheels of bribery were in motion long before he ever came into contact with Avery Bancroft. Second, we will call Dr. Frances Reese Warren, a forensic linguist. She's an expert in the field of linguistics and how conversational tactics can impact individual behavior. And her research specifically focuses on law enforcement agents and how their conversational tactics and techniques can influence those they're speaking to. She will explain to you that she reviewed a transcript and other documents regarding today's case, and that she reached an expert conclusion. She will tell you that she concluded that Officer Keenan followed best practices in the field, and that he did not structure conversation in a way that would have induced the defendant to commit bribery. She will tell you that Avery Bancroft always had a choice. Finally, you will hear from Mr. Danny Hoy, the Director of Security at Ms. Bancroft's Black Bear Casino. He will tell you how Avery Bancroft was strict with security at the casino, except for one important detail. He will explain to you that there was a blind spot in the camera footage of the VIP room of the Black Bear. And he will tell you how he saw Avery Bancroft and Chase Covington walk into that blind spot on the day in question. He will tell you that he saw them sit down next to each other at the blackjack table. And he will tell you that Officer Mickey Keenan was not present on that day. He will tell you that Officer Keenan was not at that blackjack table. And he will show you that Officer Keenan did not induce Avery Bancroft to commit bribery, because Avery Bancroft always had a choice. At the end of today's trial, my co-counsel, Mr. Alex Porcovara, will come before you. He will remind you of what you have heard, and he will remind you about how Avery Bancroft gave Chase Covington $200,000 for his vote on the Midlands Gambling Commission. He will remind you that Avery Bancroft always had a choice. When he comes before you, it will be time for you to cast your vote. It will be time for you to make your choice. After hearing the evidence in this case today, it will become clear that Avery Bancroft always had a choice, that Avery Bancroft was not induced, and that Avery Bancroft was not entrapped. Find Avery Bancroft guilty of bribery.